Hello and welcome back to Total Spotfest, and today we have two awesome people joining us today. It is Hartzell, it is Chris, co-owners of the four amazing owners of Journey Pro, talking about the show A Love Below.
The Love Below.
The Love Below. My bad.
What up, boys? Hello.
I always think of it as like as above, so below. That's how I thought of it first. I'm like, oh wait, it's an actual reference to an awesome album. I'm an idiot.
I liked the way you moved. How's everybody doing tonight?
Well,
How's everybody doing?
Thank you guys for joining us here. We do appreciate it. We finally were able to pinpoint and capture Hartzell for enough time.
You know what? Stop it. I knew I was waiting for the shots to be fired.
You've got like 85 jobs. I'm not blaming you at all, man. You're the busiest man in Kansas City.
He's the rarest of Pokemon for Kansas City.
Ooh, I accept that responsibility. Thank you, my
friend.
I mean,
I'm not saying it as a negative. This is
it's my fault.
Good
no.
thing. Yeah.
I'm deflecting and projecting, completely my fault. But I am so happy that I'm here now. This is awesome. This is how you should spend a Monday night. This is how it should be done.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Most definitely. So we're gonna get in. We're gonna talk about the Love Below. We're gonna talk about Journey Pro plans for the future. I know there's things that are up in the air in the works that nobody knows about, and we're gonna ask questions and get no answers, but we're gonna ask anyway, because that's how we roll here. First and foremost, I do want to say before we kind of get into the show, minor critique.
Uh-oh.
It was the Love Below. I didn't hear any Outcast on the DJ until after the show was over. I'm just saying.
Well, I did tell him that the two themes were UGK, International Players Anthem, which did play during intermission.
It did. Mm-hmm.
And Roses, which he did play at the end, which I asked for.
I was full. Maybe I was building up in my own head, but I was fully expecting a full catalog. You know, Two Dope Boys in a Cadillac, ATLians, and Rosa Parks, and
the very first track he played is the Love Below intro.
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
I will say I didn't have a ton of notes from the show. I thought it was an excellent show, but I will say I did have that note. We didn't play enough Outcast.
More Outcast.
And that's inexplicable. And I apologize on behalf of the company. And we will be better, and we will make right by Outcast and by Kansas City next time.
It's funny how our critique of a wrestling show goes immediately to like the soundtrack, you know, because to be fair.
We had one job. We had one job.
True. To be fair, you know, this show was straight up Bangerville City. I mean, and there was we had a lot of tweaks going on here. So for those of you who maybe aren't in the know, aren't in Kansas City, and potentially haven't watched the show yet on Twitch, first of all, what the hell are you doing with your life, for one? But we had about 7-8 inches of snow the night before, so some travel issues arose. There were some people that got sick, and some things that happened. So there were some adjustments on the fly. I want you guys to talk about that a little bit more. I know Heidi was sick, Dak got snowed out. Brooke was sick.
Fair.
Everything went exactly how it was planned, and we love it when a plan comes together, and that's exactly what happened at the Love Below. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
It was, Chris, you take that one away, because this guy, I tell you what, there's a reason why my job is so easy. It's because Walter and Chris and DJ are phenomenal at what they do, and they took the lead on this one, because you're right. It was a wild ride to get to the Love Below. We realized that the card is subject to change. We are really going to lean into that in the new normal. But man, it was, I think that was an all-timer card for us for sure. Chris, what do you think?
It was a great show. That like 24 hours before the show was pretty damn stressful. Actually, that whole week before the show was pretty damn stressful, but it went off really well.
So let's talk about the very first match, because one, it's incredibly ballsy to start with this match.
I mean, for real.
And then two, it's even more ballsy with how the outcome happened with Jovi. So we're talking about the no DQ, basically hardcore match between Kenny Alfonso and Moonshine Mantel. Holy shit, that match fucked.
Great
So good.
fucked. Yeah, I remember we got the text. No, we did. No, I got the text. It wasn't. I can't remember if we did a face to face or it was a text. But somebody, I think it was Walter, flew out the idea that, hey, why don't we think about kicking this thing off with that? And I was just like, yep. It was a text. That was my tweet. That was my text. It was just yep! Exclamation point. Love that so much. And yeah, I think that played real well, right? I mean, that's those two.
I love that idea.
I do too. Like it set the tone.
I mean, that's what AEW does all the time. You know, when they have a big show, they'll put. I mean, they put Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson to start the show. Well, you know, so
yeah,
I think there's something to be said about putting a great match at the top of the card. That's awesome.
The only thing is, I think some of the crowd didn't understand what was happening until like it started.
Like,
I was hoping that the crowd would figure it out a little sooner. But
yeah.
I am somebody too. Like, I even think I said this to Chris. Is like, man, you know, I am like of the mind that if you announce something as a main and you sell tickets off of that being the main, maybe it should stay the main. But, you know, if the story dictates that, you know, these guys don't want to wait any longer. I mean, if it makes sense, then you got to go with it. And I just think for this one, it just made so much sense. And the crowd, you know, our folks are just the best, you know? So, I mean, they would have just been as hot if we would have waited a couple more hours. But when you get them through the door, that ready to go, let's just go ahead and let's use that, you know?
Well, it turns the volume up to 11 from the get, and I remember that because we Jamie and I were more than happy to pitch in what little hand we could. We ran door for you guys here, and I remember we were still running door like up through that first match, and people coming in and immediately just like stopping inside the door and being like, "Oh shit, this is like going strong," and like it was kind of that, you know, that shock to the system, but in such a good way for people, you know, for those who, because I don't know about you guys, but I saw a lot of new faces this time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was great.
That's the best part too. Then seeing the tweets afterwards from the new folks who may have heard it from someone else who was their first show just the show before, you know, and that's the coolest part, and that's the best part. And then you got folks dressing up, and you know, Kansas City, you know, is already something special. But then when you put together what DJ and Walter did, like I said, everything that Chris and I have been able to hop on board, and sometimes it feels too easy. It's because, you know, those guys, you know, they since day one have had a special vision for wrestling in Kansas City, professional wrestling in Kansas City, and you know, it's like you said, like. The minute our folks walk through that door and we see the tweets post show, like, you know, it's really awesome. The entire ride, you know, from start to finish, it's like, oh man, this is really cool. This is really, really cool.
Absolutely. It was super fun. Now, I didn't get a chance to bring because of the snow, I couldn't make it to Office Depot. So I didn't bring my bag of tacks, but they, I will see tacks in Journey Pro. God damn it. Sometime soon here, we're going to see some tacks. We saw chairs, we saw a frying pan, a PS2 keyboard made its appearance straight out of 2001.
Chef Kisses. Yes, so take me back.
With keys flying off, but in the end, it was Jovi and his shenanigans coming in to kind of aid in, because Chen was close to calling a double count out, you know, or a double no contest, which personally I thought would have been fantastic because it would have just extended this in a better way. But here's Jovi, puts his arm over him. It's a no DQ. 3 count.
And we can't shit on Shin though, you know, like he very much he was very conflicted, but you know, at no DQ, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's the rules.
Arm over, you know, it's them's the rules, you know, and
yeah, I mean, referee's discretion. He could have called it, you know, no contest, but you know, I think Jovi. This is going to pain us to say, I know, but Jovi was actually right. That it's no DQ. So and this was a tournament match, right?
Yep.
There was. Kenny even threw out his first round bye to get a hold of Moonshine.
I know.
And so right now it's not looking like that was a great call from Kenny and Chris. We did suggest that he not do that. That maybe that's not the best of ideas, but you know, Kenny had a score to settle, and it looks like he's still got to settle some more of those, I guess.
more shenanigans to come. I very much assume so.
Next person that says shenanigans gets pistol
yeah,
So-
all the shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's that place you like? It's got the goofy shit on the wall.
You guys
and the
talking about
mozzarella
shenanigans? Oh, all right. So that's first match.
I got you, Chris.
Jamie, move us along here. And then after that, we rolled into.
I'm trying to figure out what the second one.
Because that match was so good. We had it was thumbs and buns, right?
What do we do next?
Yeah, it's thumbs and buns next, wasn't it?
And
Yep.
AC Mack and Dean Alexander.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
so-
AC Mack. This is
I
the
was
first
so
time I've
happy
seen
to
him
see.
live.
I was so happy to see him live. I've been dying to see him live for a hot minute. So the
belt looks good on him too, man. That new belt looks real good on my friend. It was cool.
He looks good.
That was great.
I mean, he's got the look. He's so hot right now too. So that's fantastic. This is his first appearance since winning, I think, right? The IWTV title. He might have had one show, I think, maybe.
No, I think he's had a show.
He's had a show in between. But
Oh yes, he did. I called that. I should know better.
So thumbs and buns coming out. Micah had matching gear to Fowler now, and this was a fun match. It's good to see AC Mack live, but I think the story of this match was the slow but inevitable demise. Question mark to the inevitable. I'll ask you guys that of thumbs and buns, because Micah kind of took some liberties at the end that Fowler didn't agree with, and they did not.
Micah's always down to have a good time, as always. And I think we can say safely that since the reopen, since 78 weeks later, Jay is coming out hot. Like, he has been walking around with this new chip a little bit, and
he has.
I don't really know how to.
He grew a beard and doesn't have blonde hair anymore. That's what it is.
And
I'm stepped on the lead.
He took a couple marketing classes because he got the whole Miller Lite themed gear. He's got the Miller Lite koozies, which you have to buy when you see them, and I had to. I was like, I have to buy one of those.
It's interesting trying to get a new read on Jay. Thumbs and Buns, one of my favorite tag teams we've ever had. Even when I was just a fan going to Kansas Hall, I loved seeing Thumbs and Buns. So yeah, one of my favorite tag teams. But yeah, definitely a noticeable kind of difference in Jay from way back on the Kansas side to now as we're doing some kicking around at a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely a lack of communication or miscommunication happening.
Yeah.
And the continuity is great because it reared itself up a few times throughout the night too, which I thoroughly.
We'll get to that, I guess.
Yeah, my markdom says that there's a fallout happening, but it's just because I love seeing turns.
Micah on a countertop. Give me that visual forever.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
I can't get it out of my mind. It was so hilarious.
It was. It indeed was. So
and shout out Micah. He brought home some hardware this weekend, right?
He did.
He did.
Micah.
Congrats to our guy.
So
Jamie, that's you.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm just enjoying the conversation here. Jeez.
That was my drink break. We're good. No apologies there.
I believe the next match after this was it was the triple threat, wasn't it?
It was a triple threat.
So this was what ended up being. I like to call it. It was a happy accident of all the bookings.
Bob Ross match, absolutely.
Ooh, sponsored by Bob Ross and the happy accident.
So we kind of have a little treat.
Chris, why don't you tell us who's in the match and how it all came together?
How did I get here? You may ask yourself. How did this match get here?
So the match was Tootie Lynn versus JDX versus Darian Bankson in a triple threat eliminator match. Basically, we had first we had Quinn McKay versus Brooke Valentine. Then everybody saw the news about Quinn. Congrats, Quinn. Then we changed it to Tootie Lynn versus Brooke Valentine. Then Brooke wasn't able to make it to the show. So then I was like, well, what do we do here? Then Dak flight canceled, couldn't make it to the show. So then we had JDX and Tootie available, and Darian Bankston takes to Twitter and says, "Give me Tootie or JDX," and
or he said,
yeah. And then we said, "Be careful what you wish for, bud." And
you get them
he got
both, bud.
Boom, roasted.
and this was I am on record. This was my second favorite match of the night, and that's a big statement for me because I did get a lion tamer or Chicago crab, if you will. It's JDX, shout out JDX, and it was locked in tight, and it was a thing of beauty. Like I went nuts. I bet could you hear me on the when you're announcing?
Yes. Everyone, I mean, especially when it was that high tight one, and like right when we thought he might go a little bit further, he just it was perfect. It was perfect, and yeah, we all had a nice big pop on commentary, and yes, I did hear you, and you sounded good. You sounded very, very good.
Well, I don't know if you saw him across because there's a few people in the standing area between where you guys were, where we were in the second row, but
I saw y'all. We stayed on chairs.
That's right.
We stayed on them chairs.
I just love, for those of you who weren't there to partake but have been following along with our passage of Jamie's lion tamer / Chicago crab love affair, which you've only witnessed the last year of, those of you listening and watching. I've been experiencing for a decade, but he shot up like a child who just got a Sega Genesis on Christmas morning. It was fantastic.
That was a great match, and
I legit thought they had him too, because he had the crab locked in. Plus, Tootie came with the crossface, and I'm like, there's no way, no way.
How did Bankston not tap?
Well, Bankston's
came in with an arm bar, and so when she lifted his arm, it put Bankston's arm near the ropes. That's why he was able to wiggle over and grab it.
It was one of those
unintended consequences,
ring awareness thing that we could say.
And for a second, for Mr. Bankston here, he is Team Tiger Driver. Why does he do a damn Tiger Driver? Just inquiring minds want to know.
He does a Tiger Bomb.
He's got the Tiger Driver 9X. He's got that. It's sick. It is.
He just doesn't pull it out. He hasn't pulled it out in Journey Pro yet.
I have not seen it. Now that is true. Have we seen it?
One time.
Hold on. TTT. He doesn't do the Tiger Driver. He flips it into Tiger. He flips it into
bomb. He sits with it. Yeah, he sits down with it. Yeah.
I've only seen it one time.
Seen it? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think back.
He might have done it at Weekend at Journeys. Now that I think about it.
Oh, he might have. Yeah.
I think you may be right. Yeah.
He might have done it there.
He did it the next night in St. Louis.
Black Lives Matter or Black Wrestlers Matter.
It is dope. Sick.
Well, anyway.
Even though I'm not always in love with Darian Bankston, I do love that move.
You said on comedy, I think you put it fantastically well. It's like, hey, you might not agree with him and this and that, but you got to give him credit for his skill. And I think we all can agree. I mean, the man is a future star. He got some attitude issues with the management of Journey Pro. Let's be real.
And listen, we messed up. All right, we did botch it a little bit with the graphics and the spelling. We did it twice. Yeah, we did. Right?
Which I swear the second time, I'm like, this is a work. This has got to be a work, right?
We can own up to our mistakes and move on from that. And he can't do that. And on top of some other character issues we had with him, we're like, hey, man, just show out. Just prove us wrong. And he is kind of doing that. He's kind of doing that. Yeah, he's kind of doing that. He's been doing that too. So, gotta give him credit.
I mean, he's actually he's won the last 3 matches I think he's been in Journey Pro, because he's won the last 2 six-pack challenges or scrambles.
He's been lost since the restart.
Oh, since the restart. So yeah, okay, he's still going on there, but
he's lost. He lost during the restart. He lost at the
weekend, right? Because he doesn't have a ticket to ride. That's right.
Right.
Oh, I wasn't a management. I was a fan and very drunk, so leave me alone. Yeah, that's fine.
I was very sunburnt, so I mean, I
was not that, but I was a lot of the other.
I still have tan marks from that fucking day. I'm just saying.
Man, that was so much fun though.
That was a great time.
We've had some fun.
Wearing a basketball jersey and not applying the right amount of sunscreen though was not the smartest choice. Just saying.
Tough move.
Yeah, it's a rookie mistake right there.
Well, I haven't been going to girls softball games for the past like 8 years, Jamie. Excuse me. All right.
I'm just saying, like, you know.
What's up next on this card here?
Please, let's move. We had the let's move the F along. We had premiere next, I believe, right?
No, we had Jeremy Wyatt versus Trevor Aeon.
Oh, I thought we had one more before
Trevor
that.
Eon.
See,
I'm sorry.
You fucked it up.
I fixed it.
He's gonna send you straight to hell, man. Look out.
Yeah,
this match was fantastic. I loved.
There was more to this match.
A
Can you
lot
be a pro
about
as we have this
match.
discussion? Chris, can you be a pro during this conversation? No, this is a little personal now.
Yeah, I think I can.
Okay, let's talk about the match first, okay?
We'll see.
Before we get to shenanigans, because the match itself, let's separate it. The match itself was fantastic. Started off with a great little, catch can back and forth.
Catch wrestling.
And it was fantastic. Trevor, who we interviewed just a short while ago, he was super looking forward to this match and didn't disappoint. Jeremy always brings his game. He
did fake me out with a lion tamer, which I did appreciate.
Fake you out with a lion tamer, and it was very keenly brought into focus who Jeremy's main rival is, and that is Nick Chin's sons. At some point in time,
yes,
he just started, and they were just going to town on it. I loved every second of it. But that leads us to kind of as we get along with the match. And once again, if you have not watched, go to twitch.tv/Journey to Anarchy. Watch the replays; it's worth your time. It's fantastic. So they get to the end. Jeremy gets the win, right? And then afterwards is when all hell kind of breaks loose. This is where Chris's objectivity might waver. So he immediately attacked. Do what?
Be a pro.
Chris.
Yes. So he attacks Chen. And then, of course, all the management is like, whoa. And he's like, no, don't you come in here. He's threatening Chen. He's got the microphone. And because he's annoyed that, that Chen's sons are owning him. Let's be real. Okay. All right, Jeremy. I said it out there. The kids are owning you. And, so he is annoyed. So he's taking it out on Nick Chen, right? And makes Chen apologize, which still leads to him, doing a vicious clothesline on him. And he had said he talked to Walter and DJ and Hartzell. You were still trying to commit to commentary, but I saw you wanted to hop in the ring. You were wanting to get up there. Well, he told everybody, "Don't you come in here? I'll drop you on your head." Blah blah blah. So anyway, after he knocks down, he's getting ready to exit the lean, and Chris, being the compassionate man he is, goes to check on our good friend Big Dick Nick Chin, right? Which I know he hates me saying that, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep going with it because it's a thing.
The wife vouched for it. She said it's true.
I would tell everybody. I don't know why he should be louder about that.
I love the pop I got after I go, oh, she knows. Anyway, so Chris goes to check on Nick, and Jeremy catches this in his peripherals and decides to choke out our good friend Chris right there in the middle ring. So, I mean, not the most enjoyable way to go to intermission, of course.
No.
Are there going to be repercussions, though? He is putting his hand on Journey Pro Management.
I mean, you bet your ass there's going to be repercussions.
Ooh, like what?
We'll discuss that at a later time, but
check your internets. Check the internet. Check the internet.
Follow on Twitter. Follow on Instagram. This would be good. Jamie has some wonderful ideas about repercussions that he was thinking of, like lining up all the biggest and baddest and having to do a gauntlet match. Come what may, be all that good stuff.
I think what you should do, because he's such a dick, is win by a line tamer. He has to win by the line tamer because he won't do it.
I'm writing all these ideas down. I'm writing all these down. I like where this is going. I like that.
Or you put him in a handicap match, no DQ, and then as soon as Jeremy thinks he's got the upper hand, here comes Chris with a nut shot.
I mean, I'm not trained to do this shit.
Chris is not trying to be a wrestler. He's a promoter. Yeah. You know, I mean,
how are you feeling? Actually, how are you feeling now? Because I know you weren't feeling. I checked up on you. How are you doing today?
I mean, my neck is still stiff, but other than
that,
bad,
you had to drive the next day. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. But
I'm curious. Do you have anything you would like to say to him? It's been a bit of it's a soft spot, so we haven't really brought it up too much yet.
Here's a forum for you. Please have at it.
I don't have a thing to say to that dude. Not one thing.
Just check this stuff later. We'll be addressing it absolutely a little bit later in the week.
Good. He deserves whatever you give him tenfold. That's all I gotta say about that.
Some stuff you can and can't do. There's lines you just can't cross, and we're having a really great first half, right? Like that was a hell of a first part of the show.
You go after the ref. That's you shouldn't need to do that, but okay, it's personal. I understand you let your emotions get out of hand with you there. Then you attack him again. That's crossed the line. And then you attack the person trying to help him, and that's just you're so far over the line now it doesn't fucking matter. So I think Jeremy Wyatt's life might become a little more difficult in Journey Pro, and I am all for that. So let's
all be better for it.
Let's see what Dogwater has to say in response when we get some punishment. So let's
keep testing on me. Okay, I'll keep testing. Okay.
All right, let's move on to save Chris from reliving it.
So intermission. We went to intermission. Nice little break for intermission there. Get yourself a coffee and a beverage and sit back down. And then we had the premiere.
Yes, we had the entire premiere actually. All three members.
Quadfather.
The Quadfather, aka Quadzilla, Camaro decided to make his return to Journey Pro. Always love seeing that man. He's such a great wrestler. Going against kind of a mixed bag.
This is another makeshift
people.
thing,
This was a happy accident again. This is another Bob Ross match, and it was really good. So we had Luke Langley, we had Arjun Singh, and then we had the debuting baby Brian Cage.
I apologize. I do not remember dude's name. I'm sorry.
Ryan, go ahead, Darko. Go ahead.
Ryan Gringell, the Infinites, making his JPKC debut. Yeah. That was
Did you say Gringell?
Gingell.
Gingle.
Is it Gingell? Gingell is how he spells it, I think.
Gingell.
And that was our big beefy 6-man. We had just like the big brawny dudes taking on the premiere.
Yeah, who's with the Quadfather. That's a lot of meat in the ring. Just
honest, it was still. I mean, as far as like the weighted the scale on the weight. Yeah, it was a lot.
It was slapping very baby. Well, I mean, it was good to see because we'd seen Gingrel.
Gingle.
You said it once, and now I can't get Gangrel out of my head. Thanks, Jamie.
He'll come out to the Brood music next time.
But all gonna pop for it.
We've seen him around because he's been training. He's been for a while. So actually seeing him in the ring was nice. His gimmick was unique. I said it was interesting because his entrance was very much like Mustafa Ali, right? With had all the neon stuff, but then he looked like a mix.
I like his shades a lot.
But yeah,
I did too.
The shades were cool, and he had like the mouth thing, like Du Hast, whoever, Rammstein, and then he's got the look of the Wolverine chops and everything. So unique take. So I kind of dug it. And for a first match, he did pretty well. I'm gonna be completely honest. He
did great. He meshed with those.
Was that his first ever too?
For us, that was his debut, and he matched up really well because Langley's a pillar for us at Journey Pro.
Absolutely.
And Arhoon is just awesome, and he's been with us now for a while, done a few shows with us, and so another one of those happy accidents that kind of worked out beautifully.
This match was great. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, this match was I really enjoyed this match, but for as much shit as we give the premiere, they're really, really.
Oh no, they're very. It's the coffee thing. I just can't get over the whole make my own coffee. I'm a coffee guy. I like the fancy fucking coffee. Cool, right? But I mean, he took so long to make that. He was making
made
it
his own.
during the other team's entrance. It's like, dude, better preparedness. Come on.
Did you see it though? Did you take a look of what
It was
Campbell
top
Myers?
notch. He had the flower
top
and
notch.
everything.
I was
man.
shocked. I was shocked. Like, Soup, my guy. That I get why we waited. And honestly, it may have been worth the wait because that thing looked like a piece of art.
It
I
probably
hope it
tasted delicious. I'm not gonna lie. So
Field
I mean,
barista.
Future barista. I mean, if Blip needs an extra hand, I mean, Campbell Myers is always available.
Well, Blip is a Campbell Myers Mark Factory of sorts in general. Let's be
Absolutely.
honest.
That's on a shirt. That shirt's coming out.
So Premier wins, but let's talk about the next match. Because
please, let's just talk.
Oh my God! Like this match
God.
was a milestone match in itself, and we'll get to that in just a second. But this was by far, I had expectations. It just bursted through that ceiling of expectations. It was that good of a match, and this is the Russian Dynamite. I will give her props. I'm never gonna call her the Russian Rogue again.
Give her the name that she actually wants you to call her. Thank you.
Masha Slamovich going against Gary fucking J. Wow.
Yeah.
Anger.
The slaps.
I mean,
the chops.
That's great, right?
Did any of you guys see the picture of her chest the next day?
The welts? Yes.
Absolutely.
Still healing.
And we
like
knew
I saw
it. We knew it would.
Nice. Still healing.
Because I was like wondering, it's like, is she going to show up in New Orleans to check on Deonna Purrazzo? Because at No Surrender, Deonna had this open challenge for either of her belts, but she didn't. And I was just then I saw the picture like before I was like, ooh, okay, I mean, we knew it was going to be like that.
Yeah, that'll probably go down as one of our greatest ever when we make that mixtape, Chris. I mean, that was that was special to be a part of. That was. And they had both been wanting this match for so long, and to be able to do it and to do it in Kansas City, the whole thing was just kind of perfect. Yeah.
I mean, and then one thing Chris, I told you this, I think at the end of the night, it's like the only thing that match was missing was another 20-25 minutes. Like I could watch an hour of that, Like,
that
I'm not
could
kidding.
Forever.
I'm not kidding. That is definitely a fight forever match. That's one that's like I wanted to see because it's one of those I loved it so much that when it was over, I was like, that was it. That was so short, and it wasn't a short match.
It was not a short match. Just you never wanted it to end.
So good. It went by so
Gary
quick.
and them were right in front of me.
They were moving at a million miles an hour. I mean, it felt like we were exhausted watching it because there was no slowdown at all. They just were nonstop wanting to kick each other's ass, and it was.
That match was all gas. I totally agree. All gas. And Masha wins. Masha wins, which is a milestone moment. Like I want to say, I personally do not remember. I think the last time I remember Gary J losing in a Journey Pro ring was to Hoodie Howlett's last match.
Well, okay, you made mention of this on the broadcast, Hartzell. You and Kramer did that. This is This is the first time he was been pinned since 2018.
I personally have never actually seen Gary J take a pin in Journey Pro until Fridays, and yeah.
The last match he technically lost was the tag match with Christian Rose at the ball field. All of our shows are secret shows.
Yeah.
Because the Howletts won that, but they pinned Rose. They didn't pin Gary.
Singles, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
And he, it was, man, that was, and just the reaction. I think all of us at Blip were like shocked and also just like, wow, it was such a cool moment that we all had.
In and of that, Masha's over as fuck. Everybody in Journey Pro loves the shit out of Masha, present company included, right? I was surprised to see how much Gary J was getting heat, Like there was some heat for him from the crowd. I think that stemmed on a little bit of what Jamie was talking from last time too, but I don't know. Is this heel Gary J?
I don't know. I can't remember the last time the crowd popped like that at a Journey Pro show. Maybe when Kenny Alfonso beat KLD.
I think that's probably the rise.
I think it was bigger.
Literally the whole crowd stood up and was like, "What?"
I think this was bigger. I mean, I would compare it to that, but I believe that this was definitely like
How cool is that, by the way? Like some of our biggest moments we've had ever have happened since all this nonsense has started. Like that is that's just something really, really cool to say.
I mean, I think
to
the
be
last
a part of that moment with Masha and Gary,
interesting. One of the biggest pops I remember in history of Journey Pro would be when Kylie Ray was the surprise entrance at Zella Pro versus Journey Pro. So, I mean, Jamie and I big proponents of women's wrestling, and look at this, two of the biggest moments involve female wrestlers. So,
I got it.
You got it.
So, Journey Pro can be like AEW. AEW's got Send Hook. You guys got Send Masha. So, send the woman who beat
Jeremy Wyatt.
Beat the man who beat him for his belt.
No,
interesting.
It's intriguing.
That's Jamie can fantasy book like a son of a bitch, and I think congratulations.
I have a knack for it.
He has a knack, Wow.
The guy is good. He is good.
All right, so after this, we go
Hard
into
task to follow this matchup. Just be blunt.
But
I'm just saying.
They do it quite spectacularly. Like this match, holy shit! The infantry versus the Howletts.
Right, which there was a little mix up on some DJ issues. We thought we were getting Christian Rose, and but no, it was hashtag heel.
Tease. Tease.
Just you put it out there and pull it back. Don't.
Stevie Cruz loves Christian Rose. That's the only way you can. That's the only way you can explain it. He loves Christian.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
On the brain.
So, Howletts versus the infantry. And immediately,
Sean Dean and Charlie Brown.
Immediately, Bird Girl's sign fell victim. I warned her not to make a guy's chip sign, but
Howletts v. Guys.
So good.
That's an all-time for the DVD. That rivalry will definitely be in there.
I don't ever want this.
Take heel shit.
But this, you rolled right into it. So this match was fantastic. Howlett's put up against, and you guys know we're giant Howletts fans. We're big marks for Howletts. We made a T-shirt themed after them, for God's sake. So, I mean, our alliances are as such. But the match was great. This is my first time seeing Dean and Bravo up close, I think, too. I mean, I've met Sean Dean before, but actually seeing him wrestle was the first time. So. They looked great. They worked really well, the four of them together. It was a very good tag match, albeit the ropes were in the wrong corners, and I know that angered Hoodie to no end. So be it.
It doesn't take much to anger him, I don't believe.
That's true. True.
It doesn't. Although he's never attacked DJ or Chris or whatever. We're just going to say that.
Yeah.
He has attacked Nick Chen and Kennedy and the other ref you guys had before. But not you guys. So whatever.
I did notice that, from commentary, DJ and Hoodie did have a little bit of a moment there at the end, because of the shenanigans that took place there. I know. I mean, I'm sure DJ. I don't want to speak for him, but those. I'm sure that's got to be a tough situation for him to be in. It's no secret that they have
a rocky past.
And a forever will be in each other's history, and so, yeah.
Well
that
said.
kind of thing.
Good way to put it. Howletts do get the win, though. You better believe that heel shit comes out on top.
They do, yeah. With some buffoonery, but they did get it.
Well, I mean...
Buffoonery, I like that, yes.
Hey, heels got a heel, man. That's what heels do.
That's what heel shit is,
And I will be honest, I actually I missed it. Kramer actually caught it before I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I didn't.
You thought it was just a closed fist.
I didn't see it.
You said it was a closed fist.
I thought it was. I thought maybe a closed fist. I knew it was. I knew it was a stiff something because my guy went down hard, and so I thought maybe a closed fist. I didn't see at the time the extracurricular activity.
Yeah, that necklace he got, the big wooden beads. I mean, those will get you. So, there's a little bit of shenanigans, but I mean, like I said,
there it is.
Shenanigans.
Now you're gone.
Oh.
But the Howletts, I mean,
is this our new bit, Jamie? But I just want 1 second. Is this our new bit here that you're gonna call me every time? Do I say shenanigans a lot?
I mean, you do like the word shenanigans.
It's like me giving a shout out to Ruby every fucking episode. Hey, Ruby,
Hi,
right?
Ruby.
You need to get that shenanigan sponsored. That's what you need to do.
That's what we need to do.
It's
It's going to happen. But
all right, so
the new main event then occurred.
And you know what? I really, as a indie wrestling fan, really appreciate the fact that this was the main event. And if you are if you know about Christian Rose and Suge D going at it in freelance, like that was an outright just war, and you can watch it. It is available on IWTV.
Yeah. Yep.
But can we just talk about the 180 turn for both these men that this match had? Like,
I mean, there was so much psychology in this match, and I know it kind of, to be fair, it took the start of it it ramped up very, casually, which I think was good for the match. I think there were definitely, just to be as honest as possible, I think there were some who maybe are newer to wrestling who didn't quite get it at first, didn't quite understand the history of it. But by the time we got about halfway through, everybody was fully invested in it. So I think you told the story well to get them up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the people that didn't get it by the end because of the story they were telling just in the ring, I think people got it by the end.
Right, because
I think for sure with I'm just piggybacking on what you all said too. I think for the newer Journey Pro fan that may have seen that, I think even that though made it feel like, okay, these two. There's something there, right?
Thing.
Like this isn't, this isn't like a normal feeling out process. Like I think they've already done felt each other out. This seems a little bit,
right,
a little bit
because
deeper.
If you were to do the trap booking thing of just picking them up and carrying on where you start there, I think people would have been like, why do I care about this? But the way that the psychology and kind of like the crescendo that was built for the match did wonders, I think, because like I said, while Jamie, myself, us, others are like, oh yeah, from freelance, there were a lot who might just be like, well, these are just two guys, right? But the story and Suge doesn't get enough credit in general, I think. Period. End of sentence. For as good as he is, that's just my opinion. But be that as it may, but his character work is so good, and I think it's because he plays a fun, lighthearted character. A lot of places it gets lost in the kind of the shuffle, but this kind of emotion about who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, it was so masterfully done. And led by him because he was the more vocal part of it. But you saw the kind of the consternation on Christian's face, and the struggle to get through it. It was spot on. It was fantastic. Every second of this, like I said, the longer the match went, the better it got. The moves picked up to go with everything.
Suge is just macro.
So
Suge's just a genius. He's a genius. He's great, and
absolutely.
You were talking about the twists and turns, like we again, since 78 weeks later, the Christian Rose that we all saw at Kansas Hall, it seems to be a different person. I'm not gonna say I was gonna say a totally different, as if it's happened. We're still trying to figure that out. I don't know.
We're going on this journey for that because
and we're going on a journey, and as we are, as he's winning us over, I think. At least I can tell by what the audience seems to be responding with, who better to test out whether or not Christian is really becoming this new guy he's telling us than someone who's known him since forever and who's had a history and someone who I thought that chapter is closed. And after Friday, that book is clearly still written. Absolutely. There's still way more to be told. And, I think that Suge actually, he made some really good points. And so I guess we're just have to see what happens. We're going to have to see, because right now I want to believe in this Christian Rose and Suge made some points though, but I still like where Christian's headed. At least
But
I think
but Christian himself, to his own admission, a few shows ago, said he was talking about how I made some mistakes in
He's
this
acknowledged
promotion.
that, right?
He's acknowledged. He's acknowledged the fact that him and
yeah.
he damn near killed Shotzi Blackheart, for God's sake. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean.
He seems to be a different guy, and I don't know. Like,
but he's got that. But he does, but he's still got that ultra violence in him. And I think that's what Suge was saying. You can't
take that out of
see it in your eyes. Well, you can't, but it's kind of like, and when you have someone who makes that transition, it's always there, and it's like, do they keep it under wraps or does it come back out? I think back to TNA days. I was a huge Abyss fan, and then when TNA started going down, that post Hogan, he became a face, and it's like, you still have it in you, and then he became evil and created Decay, and thankfully that's where they left things. But does Christian maintain his violent side and go forward with the path that he's been carving in the past few months, or is Suge right? Is he the bad guy?
I mean, the whole crowd was chanting that Suge was the bad guy halfway through the match, so I don't know.
Well, me and Jamie were chanting for them both to be the bad guys. We're just saying.
Yeah,
we were definitely saying do it for every big every
no matter what,
didn't matter who it was. We're like, do it anyway.
It is very. I will say it is cool to see Christian Rose receiving and then taking in the energy from the fans. Like, it's very cool to see that.
It's good.
Again, in this relaunch and the new normal. It's I like the relaunched Christian Rose. I think
Well, and the relaunch with Christian Rose has opportunities, because this was a prove yourself to get into the tournament. Am I saying that right, Chris?
Yeah, qualifying match, but yeah.
Qualifier, sure. So,
yeah.
So he's in the tournament. And can we talk about the tournament for a minute? So we've got tonight we had 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Was Jeremy Wyatt? Jeremy Wyatt was in the tournament too.
Yeah. So it was Jeremy Wyatt, Trevor Eon, Christian Rose, and Suge to qualify.
Right.
And then there was
Kenny Alfonso and Moonshine. So Moonshine and Wyatt both have moved on, and Christian has moved into the tournament.
Yeah.
Now you guys,
that was our last call. That was our last call for the tickets. So yeah, think of that kind of like the play-in match of the NCAA.
Right. It was a first 4 game.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah, and there'll be I can't talk too much about what we're doing coming up because we do have a meeting this week, and more information will come out about that. But a full bracket will be released, and everybody will see exactly what's going on and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Soon.
So we know the brackets.
All the reason to be excited, though.
Yeah,
all the reason.
We know a bracket's coming. You guys also didn't announce. I know we talked about this before we started recording here, but like you said, you guys have some logistical things to take care of here. So we don't know if there's going to be a show in March or April next, right? It's kind of up in the air. So
answer is yes.
Yeah,
the answer is yes. Wrestling will happen.
Yes.
Oh, no win yet.
Wrestling will happen, and so I guess the best way, as we always say, the best way we'll keep you updated as we hear. But if you want to listen to the source, follow the Journey Pro on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the things. Journey to Anarchy. Go watch the replay. Now, you guys still have it cut into 2 separate things, or did you combine them? I haven't seen since.
So no, there are 2 separate things. I think what happened is the stream dropped for a second, and then it popped back in there. So I think there's like most of the show is all on one, and then there's about
the Suge
20
match.
minutes.
Yeah, I think the Suge and Christian match is pretty much by itself in its own separate dealy bop. So
which is cool because that deserves it. I mean, it was a hell of a match.
So it's all editing. They figured it all out.
Before we wrap, I know we ran over just a tad, but when can we expect to see the Journey Pro Championship belt?
More information coming later this week.
This is a really
well
big week
done.
to be checking the socials. I think this might be the week to do it.
This is the week. So
good week
by the way.
to the following Journey Pro.
Okay.
Awesome.
Final thoughts about.
It's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be real pretty. We can say that. It's gonna be pretty. And it's
Hey, as long as it's pretty, make it pretty. So, all right, both of you guys, do some before we wrap up everything here. Why don't you give us some thoughts? The time I think because Blip Roasters is going to play a very key role in the book of Journey Pro, right? It was the first place we got to after the pandemic happened, served as that home base, even though there was other shows kind of done throughout it there. Talk a little bit about the Blip Roasters era of Journey Pro, which is where you guys came into the fold as part of the ownership group. So give us some thoughts about the past little bit.
You want to take that, Hartzell?
Hey, I'll go. Yeah, it's I have not even thought about even something remotely like this question before. The Blip era of Journey Pro. That's amazing. Well, for me, like you said, I'm always gonna remember this as when I got the most amazing opportunity of a lifetime to be a part of a professional wrestling company. My first show I ever saw was the Royal Rumble 2000 on accident. I went to Blockbuster to go get Back to the Future, and we just one of those like moms like we gotta go, come on, just run in there. It was an every week kind of thing. Go get a movie. So we ran in there, go get Back to the Future. Didn't even look behind the box, just grabbed a checkout. And so I put this thing in when I get home, and I'm like, oh my god, that is an old woman's boobies, and that was Mae Young. And then I saw the debut of this dude who looked like a Wolverine, and he had a towel on his head, and he came out like a badass, and he like, is that Taz? Who's Taz? I don't know, but this guy's awesome. And then this asshole Kurt Angle, but like, whoa, that guy, like, he looks like he might have been like on my TV, and come to find out he was, because he was an Olympian. And then The Rock, and then like the Street Fight, and Cactus Jack, and like all the blood, and oh my god, Thumbtacks. I was hooked. I was like, what is professional wrestling I'm in? And so I was 9, 8 years old. And so like to have this opportunity now is like, it's still a dream. So like Blip era for me personally is going to be like when this dream like happened. And so like for me, I hope the Blip era never stops. I hope I never wake up from the dream, because this has been amazing. And from the Journey Pro angle, as a fan, seeing like where this company has started, and to now think that Chris and I might be able to add a little bit to it off of everything that DJ and Walter have done. I mean, like, it's amazing. So if me, the Blip era, number one, thank you to Blip for just everything, absolutely everything. But for me, Blip meant life. It meant we're still here, and we're leaning in and still here real heavy in 20 and forever. Still here means everything.
Oh.
And so yeah, Blip means that for me. Blip means rebirth. It means renewal. It's validation also that this crazy concept that Walter and DJ did is still a thing and survived. So yeah, Blip is everything. This era this has been so special. So special.
Blip. Not only do they roast the coffee that wakes you in the morning, but it provides the lifeblood to local professional wrestling. So
hope they realize it's bigger. Like like they will have a chapter. Like I'm like it's. Well,
that's my point.
Like we mean it. We mean it. Like who would have thought a fucking coffee shop helped save professional wrestling in Kansas City? You know what I mean?
In a way, there's no more Kansas Hall, and let's be real. There was a good number of promotions who did not survive pandemic times.
True.
It happened.
True. And we take that like that is, and that's not lost on us. That's not lost on us. And Kansas City also, like, this is also when I talk about validation era, thanks to Blip, like Kansas City came back out, and they came to a coffee shop, and they went to Lemonade Park,
and
they went out to Edwardsville and did a baseball show. Like that is also like there's so much that's. Like, I hadn't even thought about this. That's why I'm rambling, because I hadn't thought about this question. I hadn't thought about this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you all the feels, but hey.
And you did, so thank you for that. But yeah,
just to kind of wrap it up with the bow too. Think about a lot of these things is that there's a lot that didn't make it, but I think that it just kind of showed that you guys especially coming in, and DJ made the announcement at the show. So we talked about this before, Chris, I know, but you guys moving into a new home. So not necessarily going to be that, blip is, it's not like it's over, it's done, but it was a significant time because, like I said, a lot of promotions didn't make it through. So the fact you guys were able to do that, and you double down with, you guys joining the group and adding different levels of expertise. You got, the production that Chris brings and, the broadcasting that you bring. And so, so I think that it all is going to make for a much better product. We as fans can testify to that. We want to see more heel shit. That's our only request. More heel shit as much as possible.
Quite a bit of heel shit on this show.
There's a with Moonshine, with Jeremy shenanigans. We got the Howletts, of course. There was, and then
let's not talk about Jeremy shenanigans. I thought we moved on.
Okay, well, evil shenanigans. I apologize. So, all right. Anyway, Jamie, what your final thoughts? Any final questions we have about the show, this era, the future? What's up?
I'm just looking forward to the future of Journey Pro. I will be along for the ride every damn time you guys have a show. Just don't forget about us little guys when you guys get all huge and big and GCW level, So
well, they gotta have somebody man the door.
Us.
I think we could put a good application on file there. You put two big ass scary looking dudes at the front door and you'll win. Cool.
That's awesome. Scary looking. My wife thinks I'm attractive.
Sure she does.
This guy, now he's bragging. Now he's bragging over here. This guy. That's some heel shit right there. Hashtag heel shit right there.
Yeah.
I'm a giant man with a beard of a Viking beard. I'm like a big tattooed and anyway. All right, so a couple bit take some time here, both of you gentlemen. Plug City Central time. We already talked about Journey Pro. Journey Pro, KC on Twitter, Instagram, all the things. Twitch.tv/Journey to Anarchy. But go ahead, plug yourselves and anything else you want to go.
I'll definitely do the Journey socials because this is a big week. From news to more news to even some of the news after that. Ooh. So Journey Pro KC, Journey Pro KC.
On news.
ProKC.com for the website. For me, you can catch me at Sporting KC Games. I'm their hype man / village idiot who falls off of things. We kick off the season Sunday. Actually, I'm headed to Atlanta this weekend. So that's gonna be super exciting. My first away game with the team, so that's gonna be super cool.
Nice.
Host for the Kansas City Monarchs as well. Your 2021
defending champion Monarchs,
reigning and defending AA champion. Kansas City Monarchs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the last ring I got to buy was a 2007 Class 4 state championship ring in Leeson West High School, Titan Pride forever. So it's nice that I can wear this one in public still. So that'll be a nice change of pace.
That's cool.
What else do I do? I host the Kansas City Morning Show, the KC Morning Show. On all your socials, KC Morning Show on Twitter. 2-time best local podcast. Thank you, Kansas City and The Pitch. What else do I do? I co-own the dopest professional wrestling company in the world.
Twitter. What's your personal Twitter? If they want to get a hold of you.
My brothers. Oh, yeah, me. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I'm really
this is about you.
I got a check mark. So find the guy named Hartzell with a check mark. At Hartzell965, HARTZELL. And no, I'm not dropping the 965 just because I don't work for them anymore because I refuse to lose that clout. And I will never let go of that check mark. I hold near and dear forever and ever.
There you go. All right. All that's down below. Chris, have at it.
Follow my podcast and video game community, Party Invite. You can find them on Discord. That is very, very, very active. You can find them
to figure this shit out.
On Discord.
We're working on Discord with Hartzell. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Find them on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Party Invite. Follow us on Twitch, Party Invite, or twitch.tv/Party Invite Show. And follow us this week because currently Next Fest, Jesus Christ, if I could speak, that'd be awesome. Next Fest is this week on Steam, which is a whole bunch of demos for upcoming games and stuff. So you'll see a lot of members of our community and a bunch of us doing YouTube videos and things like that and Twitch streams this week of some of those games. So we get to see somebody actually demo the game that is coming out, in several months. So
hey, I got one of them new Xboxes, and I'm not using it enough. So I need to play some people on the internet. I can play. I got Game Pass. Boots to Asses 2010. That's my gamer tag on Xbox. Boots to Asses 2010.
I thought you were going to offer, if you're not using it enough, I have a space by my TV that would fit that perfectly. Yeah. I'm just saying.
No. I'm using it, but I'm
playing okay. All right.
I play against people I know because I'm not.
I got a PS5. I'm not an Xbox guy.
I'm an Xbox guy. I might honestly get a Series S just because they're available, and I don't really need 4K. I don't know.
You
do. Trust me.
I knew a guy who knew a guy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It may have fallen off
the truck. I'm just gonna be real. It may have.
No, I can say, okay, links for everything that I just talked about down below. And of course, if you're watching this, hopefully you've already followed everything Journey Pro. And if you haven't, God damn it, get on it. So all the Journey Pro stuff, everything down below, follow all for that. We'll be back, ready scheduled time this Thursday to talk about other wrestling things in the professional wrestling world. We had Impact pay-per-view over the weekend, GCW shows, New Japan back in the swing of things with some crazy stuff happening, Bullet Club Madness, all that good shit, plus AEW. What's up?
One more thing real quick. I was in
the middle of my spiel, man.
I know I was. And I even know better.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm
Go.
a host. I should know better. But we will be remiss. None of this shit happens. The brainchild behind all this, Walter and DJ. I mean, seriously, they are a Journey Pro. So, I mean, everything that you like and retweet and mark out and pop over, it was from the minds of DJ Stewart and Walter Fulbright. So, 1,000%. Got to make sure we give them all that love.
Credit's due. And we're glad Walter's doing better now, which we love to see too. So, thank you for your prayers, everybody. So, follow our stuff, Total Spotfest on Twitter. If you want to buy some cool heel shit merchandise, that's the merch table over at totalspotfest.com. We'll be back on Thursday. Jamie, take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 4 words for you.
Nailed it this time.
Journey Pro for life.
See you guys.
Peace.
Life for life.